It's me.
I
Just
fight for the users.
me. Right.
My squishy thingy, my
Mm,
disc,
I'm
my
defying
identity disc is.
gravity.
You're
You and
defying
I,
gravity right now.
together, we can defy gravity.
Let's. You could do that probably in the Tron world a little bit
Yeah.
to some degree.
Uh,
Uh,
I'm Elphaba. Hey,
I'm
didn't see you come in
I'm
here.
I'm general Tron character. I'm not. I don't have like a defined. I guess if anything, I might be Sam from. But I don't. He didn't have facial hair and or
Mm-hmm.
glasses, so I don't know. I'm just Tron character. I'm just a program.
I'm Elphaba. I'm Elphaba. I'm aware my makeup's not the best. It's more of old school Wicked Witch of the West vibes. Maybe stage production.
Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah. We're here in our month of horror. We're here to review Little Nightmares 2. We reviewed the original
Hmm.
Little Nightmares, what, two years ago now?
Could have been 3 years ago now. It was. I
Surely it
don't
was
remember. Was it
two.
2020?
Because I feel like
It
we
might have been
did
two.
it was like Until Dawn, Little Nightmares, The Quarry, Little Nightmares 2.
Yeah, it might have been. It might have been. I think you may be correct on that. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Could have
it's
been
been
just
one
two
we've been
years
meaning
ago.
to get through. I know they have a new one out as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
we always try to get a horror game in the mix for October. And no exception. Little Nightmares 2. We haven't discussed our thoughts at all going into it. So, as always, we'll start with our gut check, which is our score out of 10 that we're feeling coming into the review. And after the review, we'll discuss and lock in our final scores.
Yes, we will.
All right. 3, 2, 1, flip. 7.5.
I also have a 7.5.
It's a synergy
That's some.
moment. It's been a
That's some
long
synergy.
time. It's been a
It's been
long
a little bit since we've
time.
had some
I was
synergy.
like, he's about to come up with a 9.5. We're never aligned.
No, I had some issues with this game. I overall still very positive experience on it.
Yeah,
Um, but I found this a lot more frustrating than the first game.
I
In
agree.
a
I
lot of
agree.
times.
I agree.
Yeah.
And what it is also is like the original did a much more better job, in my opinion, of being like of setting the tone, being really creepy and unsettling.
Yeah.
This one didn't have it as much, and even like the little narrative they have going on was much more compelling and like a lot more effective in the original to me than this one. And the kind of the direction they went with it, and then even like the different gimmicks they use for some of the puzzles is like okay, but not really anything super creative to me. And then it's like overall, I still like the style, I still like the vibe, the music, and it's still a fun little way to wrap up. They usually do pretty well, like the grand
Hmm.
conclusion type. But just the first one really hit on all the marks. Um, and so this is a
Yeah.
step
I
down for me. But yeah,
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with this is again now some of this is going on memory, so I could be mistaken on this, but a lot of what I felt made the first one really effective in terms of if it's sort of the kind of creepiness to a lot of it
hmm
was a lot of the sources of the creepy was it was a lot more, I would say, more varied than in this one. This one, a lot of it just kind of all stemmed back to the, I don't know what his name is, the Thin Man, basically the TV guy. Like a lot of the a lot of the villainy and a lot of like the source of a lot of the problems of the world, especially because like even really early on when you first land in the city, you see like there's just like empty clothes of people that are just like completely gone or completely subsumed. And they're all people that you learn much later on in the game as it goes on. They're people that have basically been completely consumed by the TV broadcast or something to that degree, at least. And so I like that. I liked some of the world building in that aspect, but I felt like there was a lot more. Like each place that you went to in the first game, just even though it was all technically all in the same setting, that the game sort of slowly revealed to you where you were which I really liked. This one, it was always kind of like kind of know where you are always. Like it's like okay, I'm in a school and now I'm in a hospital, and it's like okay,
Right.
and those have their own elements of creepiness to them, but it's like you kind of like you can kind of tell where it was where every time it would change, you kind of tell where it was going, like pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
So some of the mystery of a little of some of it was a little bit more lost, even though this it had its own it did have its own kind of mysteries as well. This like I don't want to say this
Yeah.
game was completely like it was completely devoid of any of that, but that to me it was a lot more satisfying in the first one than it was in this one.
But in the first one was so good
And
at unraveling that mystery, especially when you're playing as 6 and how you get deeper
mm,
and deeper into what that story does. And this one is it's less. I kind of felt less invested in the characters, and it was like it felt like it was a co-op game. Like
yeah,
it was designed to be a co-op game almost, and
mm,
it's like the vibe didn't work for me as much. With the because you have a second character that's like there to assist you in different things, and I never really thought it was that creative how they were implemented. It was just like, oh, let me use you as a step
yeah,
stool here. You can grab me here. Sometimes they'll have you do a thing where you have to go around and like whether it's with like an elevator or something, and you have to pick them up in another spot. But I don't think it really added
yeah.
anything to the experience. If anything, it was better feeling more isolated.
Yeah, I always actually liked it more when you were kind of on your own because it was a lot more. That was the investment for me. Is like, oh, I need to get back to the other character. Like, and like we need to figure out what happened to
Yeah,
her.
exactly.
That was a lot more, always more engaging than when you were actually going along with her anywhere. Because yeah, it just felt a little odd because it was like um there's been so many games that have had that sort of the co-op kind of or companion character. I mean, there were times at this where I was literally thinking like Eco did this better like 20 years ago.
Mm.
Like there were parts of it where it was stuff like especially when you because you could hold on to her hand as you're moving along to drag her along. Not that that did anything. It
Nope.
did basically did nothing.
And there was times
Um,
where she would let go of my hand when I wanted her to actually come
yeah,
with me, and she was,
yeah,
I don't know if it was just me, but she was not cooperative all the time when I needed her to be.
yeah. Right. There were some times where I'd be kind of wandering around, being like, okay, I don't know really know what I'm supposed to do, and then it's like, oh, I had to stand in this exact spot so she would go over here and then stand here and boost
Mm.
me up. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
and
that
some of my
was
favorite sequences of the game are the ones where you're like being chased and stuff. But then a lot of times with those,
yeah,
they were frustrating. I don't know if it's just me, but like sometimes it would make it like you're supposed to be following the other character,
yeah,
and then sometimes I follow her, and it's like, oh no, you're actually supposed to stray off here, and like you get screwed over or you get caught by the thing catching you, like you
yeah,
fall behind too quickly. I don't know. It was a
yeah.
little annoying for me.
I I don't know if I really remember the places where you're supposed to branch off from the other character, but one thing that's still the major highlight for me is definitely the hiding in sneaking sections of the game. Those are always the
Hmm.
best. I think the first game did that really. I think the first game did it slightly better, but I still think that this offered really like a really satisfying and enjoyable challenge when it was just focused on you trying to sneak around and hide your way
Yeah.
around through things. Where it got really frustrating was when you had to fight things
Hmm.
that that sucked. Like I'm gonna be honest, it was not good. It was not very well implemented
Hmm.
because you had to be weirdly precise with your timing
Hmm.
because like one hit and you're dead with anything. So when you're trying to attack these things, if you time it too quickly, because your character, whenever you press a button, your character then has to like wind up and swing the thing that they're holding.
Yeah.
If you're too quick, then the other thing will just attack you and you'll die. But
Yeah.
if you're too slow, then the thing will attack you and you'll die. So it was like there was not an immediacy to anything you were doing when it came to combat, and that made it kind of frustrating for the few times where you actually had to fight things.
Hmm.
So I didn't really like any of those
Yeah, that could have been
sequences.
implemented better for sure.
Yeah.
And I just the character designs I thought were stronger in the original. We got a couple
Mm.
cool ones in here, but then for the most part, I wasn't that scared or unsettled by a lot of them. Like all the characters watching TV and stuff. It's like that was
Yeah.
like so much of the game, and it would really didn't do anything for me. Whereas like some of the more unique designs were like the one early on with the long neck, stuff
Oh, the
like
school
that.
teacher. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, she was great. She was super
But we
creepy.
just didn't get much of that
Um,
throughout the game.
it, it's like that and the hospital. The hospital was also, I think, very effective at being creepy. But that's
Hmm.
also the worst part of the game.
Hmm.
I hated that part. I hated the hospital. I really did not like it at all. And a lot of that had to do with, again, there's precision in what you kind of had to do with the timing of everything when you were running away from stuff.
Hmm.
So if you weren't immediately running at certain
Yeah,
times, they would just get you
yeah,
and
that
you
was
die.
annoying to me because, like I said, that's like kind of the more effective scenes to me were those if it would just was more refined. Like because it just
Yeah,
became like okay, I'm like just dying over and over real
yeah.
quick, and then
It's like too much trial and error. I think
that's
like
true.
it was a little less in. It wasn't as intuitive to pick up in the first because like I definitely died playing the first one, but it felt a lot like
Yeah,
it felt a lot more like the game was kind of punishing me for not preempting things that I had no way of preempting
yeah,
in a way.
exactly.
Like it was just sort of like yeah, it was weird, kind of weird in that regard.
One thing that we at
Uh,
least these Little Nightmare games they are gracious with their checkpoints. So at least it's not
yes.
like you're dying and you could set back all the way to the beginning of the level or something really frustrating. It's usually like at the same. It was like there's two sides to that because it's like it's nice, but at the same time, I
Mhm.
didn't feel like you never really feel gravity in any situation. Like it's like, oh, if I die, I'll get set back 2 feet because you're almost always passing a checkpoint like every few minutes.
There's a puzzle with the electric floor though.
Uh,
That checkpoint felt punishing because it's like
hmm.
okay, because I screwed up where I put the shopping cart and I
Right.
screwed up where I put that. Now I have to go back and do all of this stuff over again, and it's gonna take me another like 2 minutes to get back to where I just was. So
And like the puzzles to me just
yeah,
weren't super interesting. Some of them were
yeah.
annoying, but
I again, hospital, really good stuff with the X-ray machine, and you had like finding the stuff that's in there, and then burning up the teddy bears. Like that was really clever. I like that. I like the chessboard was
mhm,
super fun as well.
yeah,
Those are two kind of big standouts to me. I thought those were both very clever. But yeah, ultimately, like, yeah, I just felt kind of just a little underwhelmed by parts of the game. Um,
yeah.
but
And it's like you did kind of have lightning in a bottle in the original, so there's always the kind of
mm,
there can be diminishing returns when you take a game like that and you try to recapture that because it's like it'll never quite hit the same as the original did, right? Because you know what you're getting into, so you know there's supposed to be a creepy element to it, and like in the narrative, and then so when it's not as strong as the original too, it's like it falls flat. It's even more noticeable that it falls a little flat because
yeah,
like man, the first one really captured something, and this one it's just like there's shades of it, but it's not quite on that level. But
yeah. I think I want to say like another thing too is it kind of piggybacking on kind of what I was talking about earlier with like you kind of know what to expect with a lot of the stuff. I think some of that is also down to how the sometimes like there are times where I felt like the backgrounds were extremely well designed, extremely strong. I especially love the field of kind of the field of view type thing, the sort of like where it blurs it plays with your field of view. A lot of
mm-hmm.
times with that stuff. Love how the game uses that. But there are times where, especially when you get into these like larger sections, the game sort of fails to feel as impactful. I know it's hard to keep just comparing it to the first one, but this is a direct sequel, so it's you kind of have to. Actually, it's technically a prequel, um, but it's hard to sort of it's hard to like feel that kind of like wow moment when you're like, especially when you're getting to another level, as it just felt like there's like just a little lacking in the extra detail department in some areas where I feel like it could have added maybe a little bit more punch to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because some points you're just kind of
but
walking
but
through a room.
mhm.
You're walking room to room, and it's like not much there. And even like some of my favorite character designs in the original are those nasty looking big guys. You know,
The people, yeah,
you
the
got a
people
little
eating the
bit of
food
that
are amazing.
in the
Yeah.
beginning, just a brief amount, and then you don't get any of that the rest of this game.
Mm.
So
Yeah, and I think that yeah, I mean, I think it does still it is still effective at certain points. I think especially when you get to the sort of the last one of the last levels where you get to the sort of the big city, there's some really impressive times where you're like looking at that and you see the huge tower in the background.
yeah,
So there's some really cool stuff with that that they do really well. But
and I did enjoy, like I said, the final sequence as you're wrapping up the
final
game.
sequence final
Like,
sequence is very good. Yes,
always so
very
much
strong.
fun. Though,
Yeah.
narratively speaking, it doesn't feel as earned as the first one. Because remember how they ended the first one? It was like so like cool how everything had ramped up to that point, and
Mm.
then our character became like super powerful. This one didn't feel as much that, but in terms of like gameplay and visually, there was a lot to enjoy at least in the end here.
Yeah, I feel like some of the additional ramping up of some of the additional ramping up of his powers would have maybe made it more earned. Because yeah, you only kind of like find out sort of what's going on in the last two levels, basically, and then of course the ultimate reveal of the sort of last little cutscene before the credits, where it makes it very plain in terms of kind of what happened here, what's going on.
Mm,
Um, so the yeah, I was very
tall hat man,
hmm?
tall hat guy.
Tall Hat Man. Yeah, I don't remember what his name is called in the lore, but Tall Man, the Thin Man.
Yeah, you get like a time lapse at the end.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's very cool.
He's really
It is
like
very cool. I like that a lot.
he's straight out of Haunting of Hill House. That guy
Oh yeah,
in there that
yeah.
Luke was scared of.
Well, yeah. Well, I do like. I mean, I did like the reveal that like Six is the person that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when
Yeah.
she dons the sort of raincoat, and then spoilers for the end. We talked about the whole game, but like where she betrays you at the end is also great.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that a lot. I was like, yeah, you just screwed up her whole like the whole thing with the music box and everything, and that she was like really cherished. And it's like, yeah, some of this was because she turned into a monster, but at the end of it, it's like she still doesn't really like trust you after that. So it's like, yeah, she just is like, yeah, no,
Drop your ass.
never,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And so
Yeah.
then you're you defeat the TV monster, the tall man, the thin man, the long man. I don't know what he's called.
Long John.
um, Long John. In the end, you essentially become him. Uh, it's like I don't know if it's supposed to. I think the implication is that it's like a time loop. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense with the beginning of the game.
The
Really,
implication is that you are the tall man
yeah, the whole
after
time
being
because
stuck there for so long. But
right.
yeah.
Because I guess the glitched figures that you come across are supposed to be like they're supposed to be echoes of you in other loops. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the one thing I think is that I think that's the implication. The the time loop kind of doesn't make sense, but I don't know. I'm not. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Really, because I guess the whole idea is that the uh, the tall man, the long man, the glitched man, um, because he kidnaps Six. So in every loop, he's doing that to try to stop you, right? But to try to stop himself from becoming that again. But why doesn't he just kill her then? Because if he kills her, then you can't get out, and then you'll die, and then there you go, loop resolved.
Mm-hmm.
I
Babe.
don't know.
Um.
Maybe he forgets. Maybe it's because the passage of time is vague. Maybe it's one of those sort of like it's one of those sort of like Lovecraftian things where it's like because it's like a tragic fate
Yeah. Yeah.
that it's like one of those things where it happens for so long and you can't even really remember why he's doing it anymore type things.
I like it. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
That could be that
Could
could be
be
a
that.
reason enough that he's still stuck in the loop.
I did really enjoy the whole time going for that music box. You know, you go through a couple fun different gameplay loops. You know, the one where you have to follow the sound through the
I
different
love that.
doorways.
It's been a classic of since Ocarina of Time. One of those things where I first
Mm-hmm.
encountered that, and I really like that as a little puzzle element. So always really enjoyed
It's fun.
enjoyed that
And you
stuff.
say you
Yeah,
didn't like the combat. How do you feel
yeah.
about the final one where
The
you?
final, I feel like it worked really well there
Mm-hmm.
because the game always gave you enough time to sort of like make it work. You sort of had to like trick her to like go to different doors, so it gave you enough time to get over to it.
Yeah, I
I
like
found
that.
that very, I found that a lot more satisfying than most of the rest of the combat, which required a lot more precision timing, which was never really worked right.
It was frustrating at first, but I did get used to the timing. It's just an awkward like
Yeah,
you have to do delay. You know when
yeah,
you so many times to before you got used to it was whiffing it because it's like oh now you're supposed to do it, but they have a little hesitation and they get you after.
right. Yeah, like the marionette children,
Mm-hmm.
where they're going after the doll
Yeah,
children. They'll like come at you, and then they'll pause, which you
yeah.
think is enough time to give you the time to do that, but they actually like step back a little bit, and then they pounce at you. And it's like cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was always like the
And then there was a whole little gimmick with the flashlight. You
mm,
know, I mean, the flashlight in general was like a gameplay mechanic, but then they had the whole sequence with the um like mannequins
the
almost.
mannequin patients.
It was
Yeah,
almost like a Twilight Zone vibe where you know you shine your light on them and they stop and then they keep running.
yeah.
Um,
It took me way too long to sort of figure out how to do that correctly,
it was annoying
and
at
then
points.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I kept getting caught on the last really big one. We have to go through that huge room, and there's like
Mm-hmm.
15 of them that are running after you.
Right.
I was like, "What the world's going on?" And it ended up being like, "Oh, because I wasn't. I you need to like use the stick. You need to basically like almost like kind of helicopter the stick around
And
the
then
right stick to like
if you get them all
keep
on the
them
same
paused."
spot side, then it makes it
Mm.
easy. By the end,
Yeah,
you
because
just hold it in
you can
one.
kind of like
Mm-hmm.
yeah keep the flashlight going. So
But so like, there's a couple cool concepts, but for the most part, I didn't find it as inventive as the first
yeah,
was.
but I liked the music box being woven, that theme being woven into a lot of the music too, which was really great.
I mean, that's the classic Little
Yeah.
Nightmares.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm glad it stuck around. I mean, it's iconic. It's so
Yeah.
effective.
Great. It was great.
And then yeah, TVs. So everybody's just obsessed with the TVs. And here you have all these people. So many of the villains are
Mm.
just like people who are just watching TV, and you gotta
Yep.
turn on a different TV, send them over here. Like those puzzles didn't really do much for me. It was like
Yeah,
okay,
they were a little they were too very yeah, they were kind of like overly simplistic, I want to say. Like it was just kind of like, okay, I turn the TV on and I just turn it on over here,
hmm
and then I warp through it, and then it's like, yeah, I know exactly where I'm going. And yeah, they weren't very interesting, but I would say the general world of the city was pretty cool. I just liked the and I did like the design of those of the people who hadn't been completely subsumed by the TV yet. They just like all had like blank, like warped faces,
Mm.
kind of. And they that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is
Yeah,
after finishing the game, you look at your trophies. It's like you got a fraction of the trophies. I'm like,
yeah.
damn, what? I didn't look at the other trophies, but I'm like, what the hell?
So so the list is like mostly like a lot of it is like things that I thought I was I because I did look through the list after I beat it, and a lot of them are like, oh, these are things that I had the right idea about. I just didn't go and do the right thing here. Like one of them, some of them are like carry this thing over to here and then do this thing with it.
Mm.
Um, there's one that you get for I think it's a combined total of 6 minutes of holding Six's hand. That's
Oh,
one of
okay.
them. There's a trophy you get if you hold her hand while the X-ray machine is on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you go both got behind it with the X-ray machine on. I thought I did that, but I didn't get a trophy for it. But so I don't know. Just because I thought it was kind of cute. Um, and then a lot of them are just related to like getting all the glitched figures in
Yeah, I missed a lot of those. I
the.
missed a lot of the hats.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, dang,
I
I
only
thought I
had.
was doing pretty good.
I think I only got 2 hats. I got the raccoon hat, just the really easy. That's the one you first get,
You only got
and
two?
then the cap. Yeah, I think
I got
like
a
that and
few.
the captain's hat. I think those are the only
I
two.
got a few of them, but there's I feel like even ones that I found, it's like something to do with the lighting. Like it feels really dark
Mm,
where there are hats sometimes. To like, and like they expect you to actually be able to see and grab those. Seems weird.
yeah,
But yeah, I was like
yeah.
actually I was trying to look around and still
I
ended
did
up
too. I was a lot.
barely any of them. Yeah.
That's where I was kind of like, oh, that's weird. Like most of the time when I would be looking for a place and I'd do like a little puzzle to get somewhere that was off the beaten path. It's most of the time there I'd just find a glitched figure and I wouldn't find a hat. And I was like, oh, okay, well that's still a little collectible that I'm getting. Um, there was one I read. It's like, oh, there's like a teddy bear, one of the teddy bear hats when you're in that area. And I was like, I looked around and I picked all of those things
Mm.
up and I didn't get any because I thought I was like, oh, maybe one of these is like a thing I put on, and then I didn't find it, but I was looking around the right area. I just didn't find the right thing, I guess. So,
Right. Yeah. So yeah, not. I'm very curious what Little Nightmare 3 did, but yeah, this
yeah.
one's this is really a step down. Hmm.
So do you want to know a couple things I found out about Little Nightmares 3?
Hmm.
Is it's not developed by the same people anymore
Okay.
because I don't know if the studio I don't know if the studio went under or was just subsumed or if they just didn't have any. I don't really know the whole details of that, but it's made by a different studio now. I think it was made by was it no, it wasn't Dotenod. I'm trying to remember who was making it now. I don't remember. But it has basically nothing to do with the plots of either of these games. It's like a completely new thing, which I'm actually kind of fine with.
Hmm.
I almost would have preferred that this one kind of just do its own thing because
Hmm.
like making it a prequel is sort of like okay, well, I mean, I was more interested in seeing like what Six was going to do moving forward from the last one, as opposed to like discovering how she was like found and how
Yeah.
she got on board the ship. But
If you want to recapture the wonder and the mystery of it, that like making it
yeah,
an isolated story would probably be a better idea. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
So,
I'm down with that.
um, so yeah, I was kind of like initially when I heard that I was like, oh, that's kind of too bad. But then as I thought about it more, I was like, actually, it's probably not a bad idea that
Hmm.
they did that. So, um, but yeah, so but that one is also fully co-op, to my understanding.
Oh,
So we
it's an
could,
actual co-op.
I think we, yeah, I think we could technically play that one together if we wanted
Okay.
to.
This one's fake co-op. This is
It's fake
crazy.
co-op.
I was like, man, this game is actually a co-op game. I didn't even
you
know.
you can't even give your little brother the controller to do nothing. To do
Nope.
like nothing with like Mario Galaxy. It's like
Again, even but the idea of it being a co-op game is interesting to me. I don't
mhm.
know, like, can it be effective at doing again, like we were saying here, it's almost better when you're alone in it. So
Yeah,
Wonder if it'll lose some of the magic doing that too. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
We'll see what it's like.
we shall see.
But who knows what we'll do next? Maybe we'll go for one of those more like we've been alternating. If there's like an Until Dawn esque game that we could do. There are those Dark Pictures games and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I don't know what that dev team. I don't know what they're cooking up after.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what their main major thing is going to be next, because like I haven't really heard them. I haven't really heard any mention of like what's coming next.
Until
like,
Dawn, the movie, the game.
Yeah, well, they already did that though. The remake, which I don't know if that did very well. So
but the remake was actual Until Dawn though.
Yeah,
I'm talking Until Dawn, the movie, the game.
Yeah, that
We gotta do the death loop.
Oh, that would be something. That'd be something, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All your favorite characters from there, like you take the cast of that game, and actually would probably fit right in from that movie.
Kind of would. In the game. I think. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on with them. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what comes next time.
We'll see.
But thanks for joining us. This is the last time you'll see us in costume, at least.
Yeah. Were we going to put in a final score?
We should do that.
I guess we should probably do that. Yeah. Bum 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 bum.
All right. 3, 2, 1, flip. 7.
7.5. Oh, you came down on it a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm still pretty much like right there at the 7.5. Yeah, it was good. Like I enjoyed it, like to the degree of like I would be very satisfied getting a platinum trophy in this. I'd be willing to go back through and do that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be too hard to track all that stuff down, especially with a guide. It's not a very long game, but
I'm just trying to view it from the lens of like I don't think it's that compelling, and like if we weren't doing it for this, I don't know if I would have like been compelled to play it through. If it, like I say, I played a demo of it based on how the game generally plays. It's like I was just kind of going through the motions at a point.
Yeah, there were some, like I said, there were parts that were quite frustrating, but I did want to soldier through to finish it for the channel.
Yeah,
it's an easy enough trophy list that I wouldn't feel that bad. For crying out loud, I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in Anthem of all things. Mm-hmm. I'd rather do that. Get an easier platinum than that.
You gotta get a platinum on Choo Choo Charles. You gotta buy it on PlayStation and get it platinum there.
If they even have that, do they? I wonder if they even have a platinum. Is that even available on anything other than Switch? I don't even know.
It's gotta be, right? PlayStation. I don't
know if it is.
I think when they posted on the Discord, I feel like it was like a PlayStation.
Oh yeah, but I think that might be. I think that might be a new port. Is the thing.
That's a Tarqaron score of 7.25 for Little Nightmares
7.25. That's right.
Not bad.
Yeah, I guess it is bad. Yeah, fun. No, it's funny. The Switch port is actually the most recent one. You're right. Windows December 9th, 2022. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X on December 21st, 2023. And then the Switch port came out like 3 weeks later.
We're building up our little game catalog of game reviews there on the channel.
Yeah.
It's a humble selection compared to our movies, but we got Bargain Bin every few months, so that's helping add in another game here or there.
That's right.
Lost in Random is a game that I never went back to after I was planned to as well.
Yeah, I still plan on doing that though. Especially they have a new like roguelite game in that franchise that I guess is very good. I've heard very good things about that. So,
but if you go on my website, I actually have all our reviews on there. If you can go into the video game section, it has all of our video game reviews there. But if you enjoyed this video, why don't you go check out the video where we blind rank things we reviewed, horror edition that we just did recently. Number 3.
I'll check it
That's a
out.
fun video.
Check it out.
You should check it out. It's
That was a
got
fun video.
a lot of different prompts basically to rank things we reviewed on our channel based on, such as what character would best pull off a fall ensemble, what movie would make for the best horror movie, what world would be the scariest to live in. These different prompts are fun. Right. Check that out. Subscribe to the channel for more. Like the video, and leave a comment with your thoughts. If you played Little Nightmares 2, what do you think? Right. And
All right.
take care.